कुंभे पुनर्वसु जातौ केरले चोळपट्टने कौस्तुभांशं धराधीशं कुलशेखरमाश्रये गुष्यते यस्य नगरे रंगयात्रा दिने दिने तमहं शिरसा वन्दे राजानं कुलशेखरम्. 29 and 30. मदन परिहर स्थितिं मदीये मानसी मुकुंद पदार विंद धामनी हर नयन कृशानुना कृशोसी स्मरसि न चक्र पराक्रम मुरारेः तत्त्वं ब्रुवाणानि परम्परस्तान् मधुक्षरन्तीव सतां मुदा वहानि प्रावर्तय प्राञ्जलिरस्मि जिह्वे नामानि नारायण गोचराणि. So, Kulasekara Alvar, we've been seeing for the last, we've crossed almost half, 40 verses. Mukunda Mala Stotram has 40 verses. We've crossed half, more than half now. And Kulasekara Alvar, this particular verse, the way it is appearing in a way is that Ippo Kuda Puriyalena, even if you didn't understand now, I don't know what to say. I've said so many verses, so many verses instructing you, telling you, sharing my experience of how Narayana should be worshipped, how Narayana is the ultimate Lord, the only Lord. The Supreme is the only thing that is worth aspiring for. All of this I've said in many different ways. I've told to you like a teacher, I've told to you like a king who's ruling the kingdom, I've told to you like a Sishya, Dasa, Bhritya, Bhritya, Bhritya. I have told Paricharaka, Bhritya, Bhritya. I've told you like one who's a Dasas, 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 Dasa. Even from that Bhavana, I've told you. Because he's exploring and expounding his experience that is happening within him in terms of how he is perceiving Narayana, how he is perceiving what one should, how one's engagement should be in this whole spiritual sadhana. And that is only if you are keen in this. Otherwise, there are people who looked at Kulasekara Alvar and called him a mad person, right? Like how Abhirami Pattar was called as a mad person. Only those who knew. Maybe how Bhagavad Gita we saw 2 days ago, say, Yaf pashyati sa pashyati. The one who sees, sees. One who doesn't, you keep explaining to him till it occurs. So, now did Kulasekara Alvar compose all of these Mukundamala Stotra as something that he wanted to go out and tell people, listen to me? No, it was just his outpouring. And each one, as we said, is in a mala, every flower is individually beautiful and important. In a mala, in a garland, put together, it's also beautiful. So whether we pick a verse from here and you spend time with it, you meditate upon it, or you look at the whole work as a singular piece of work, 40 verses, equally beautiful both ways. But the net idea is repeatedly the same. Om Narayanaya iti Mahamantram. This is what he is saying. 929th, he is bringing the same idea. He is saying, Madana Parihara Sthitim Madiye. Oh mind, Madana Parihara Sthitim Madiye. Within my mind, this Madana is sitting. Madana is who? Manmatha. Manmatha is the root of all desires. Kama Deva. In my mind, Madana is established. Where? In the place where Manasi Mukunda Padaravinda Dhamni, where now I bring the lotus feet. Padaravinda Dhamni means residence. Padaravinda is lotus feet. Of who? Of Mukunda. Mukunda's lotus feet I bring in here, in the place where Kamadeva is now. Kamadeva was there, and he's requesting Kamadeva, you leave. Give up, parihara. Oh mind, give up space. So that Mukunda's lotus feet can come into me to reside within me. And then he says, Harinayana Krishanu na Krishosi Smarasina Chakra Parakrama Murarehe. So in this verse, it is a very beautiful way in which Kulasekhara Alvar is also recognizing himself as not somebody who is see, this is the beauty of masters who are also realized masters, enlightened. There'll be no display of enlightenment. In a way, there is no active display of enlightenment. They won't say that I am enlightened. They'll not say I am a Sarvagnya, I am a Brahmagyani. They'll never say that. Like my guru would say, I've told this, right? Humility is like an underwear. You never wear it on the outside unless you're Superman. You don't wear it on the outside. So you don't display these things. And you yet continue to show as though you are still as human as the rest of them. But within, there is a transformation that has happened. The same thing with Yajnavalkya. When Janaka Rishi asked the Sabha, prove anybody who can prove themselves to a Brahmagyani, I will give them these 1,000 cows I have, and each cow 2 horns. I've put gold coins on both the horns of the cows. So 1,000 cows with, imagine, so each is 2,000 horns, assuming every cow there had 2 horns, and every horn possibly 20-30 gold coins. Those many gold coins and the cows, he says, I will give it away to one who can prove them or come and claim and prove themselves to be Brahmagyani. Yajnavalkya Rishi is there in the Sabha. He gets up and he tells his Shishya, can you just go and bring those cows? And everybody in the Sabha, they're surprised, shocked. I was like, what audacity? Who are you? And how can you take away the cows without? Janaka Raja asks, what are you doing? You didn't prove yourself to be Brahmagyan. He said, immediately Yajnavalkya says, Koti pranams to the Brahmagyani here. I need the cows. Simple. I need the cows. I have to go back home. I have to take cows so that I can make use of them. But whoever is the Brahmagyani here, I Koti pranams to him. Then Janaka knows that he is not a normal person. Then there are other scholars, then they challenge him. He said, no, you can't go like this. You have to debate. So then ensues the debate, Brahadaranyaka. And every question they give, they respond. And then finally, they bring in Gargi. All of them finally fall at his feet. Gargi is known to be one of the most scholarly, renowned woman rishis of those times. So all of them admit defeat and fall at his feet. Because the way he describes Brahman, the way he describes what is Atma, what is Ishvara, what is Brahman, all of that he describes, they realize he must be a Brahmagyani. Or he knows it. He is speaking it from his own experience. Gargaya Gotram, is this from Gargi? Yes. So why is this example? To say that here Kulasekhara Alvar is saying, oh Madana, O Manmatha, please make way for Narayana to come. He is not saying Narayana is already there, so Manmatha is not there. He is not saying that. He is saying Manmatha is there. Even though I am considering myself such a great devotee of Narayana, I have gone out and given you instructions on how you should be. I still realize Manmatha has his residence within me somewhere. Manmatha is what? All your desires in some form. Even the most dormant impressions that we carry, the samskaras that we carry, is the toolkit of Manmatha. Manmatha is this entity that is it's just a archetype of, it's an archetypal image to show that that is the desire that is there within us of some kind. Some kind. Every desire that is there within us, whether we know it or we don't know it, it is residing. And as we clear off desires on the surface, there are more subtler ones that rise up. That is Manmatha. So Manmatha will be there. In fact, the beautiful thing about Buddha, he said, right? Buddha went and did his tapasya for 8 years. Yet he was not getting enlightenment. And when did it happen to him is when he dropped, so he had dropped all desires. In his mind, as far as he knew, he had dropped all desires. But then there was one desire that remained. The desire for fulfillment. He dropped that also. He dropped that desire also, and then it happened to him. It is never that one gets enlightened. Enlightenment happens to them. So, in that form, he is saying that this is there, Manmatha is there in the deepest form. In fact, many interesting ways in which we behave also, if we observe close enough, there you would recognize what is the source of this kind of behavior also. For example, suffering. We say, look at a lot of people suffering, and they complain about the suffering they have. You remove all the suffering from them, they'll not know what to do in life. Because they've made suffering as their adhara, as the purpose for which they are living. And there is it's very paradoxical, but if you look at it, it's also very interesting to note there is that suffering, there's this joy in suffering and joy in saying that I'm suffering. What is this? There is a desire there. There is a desire for attention. There is a desire for acknowledgement. There is a desire for being noticed. Somewhere that desire is continuously there. It is manifesting in different ways. So how much ever we say, I become desireless, how much ever we say, it won't go away. The other way of looking at it is beautiful. See, we have Kama Deva who gets burnt by who? Kama Ishvara. Kameshwara. So Kameshwara burns Kamadeva. That is what Kulasekara Alvar is reminding him here. He says, Haranayana Krishanu na Krishosi. From Haranayana, from Shiva's third eye, there is this angry, the fire of the third eye comes out and burns you off. So Kamadeva is burned by Kameshwara, which means Kama will remain. In fact, the story goes, those who know the story, after from Shiva Purana, the story after Kamadeva is burned, he is brought back to life because of Rati Devi going and pleading to Parvati. But he comes back as Ananga. That is when his name becomes Ananga. Ananga means He is without a form. Now he's even more dangerous actually. Previously, Kamadeva had a form. Shiva knew where to focus his third eye and burn the guy off, right? Now, after that, now he's resumed life, but he's formless. So, which means he's everywhere. And that is what the Purana is trying to say. If you think you're looking at it and you've burnt it, don't be so confident about it. It can assume any form anywhere else. Like how Nachur Swami says, looking at this is like looking at a snake. So when you look at the snake, we've not, most of us wouldn't have seen being in urban areas, but you've read of it, seen wherever, or heard of it. You'll see whenever the snake tries to come out of the pit, when you know that when it knows that somebody is paying attention or looking at the snake will immediately go back to the pit very, very swiftly. Which is why it's very difficult to go and grab a snake. Very slimy, very tricky. It will slip off very soon. The same way, when you observe yourself, you look at yourself, I'm saying I'm desireless. I don't have எனக்கு எதுவுமே இல்லை, எனக்கு வாழ்க்கையில் எதுவுமே வேண்டாம் அப்படின்னு we say. The way you say it, somebody who knows that எதுவுமே வேண்டாம், within saying எதுவுமே வேண்டாம், there are so many things that are there. Because it's like that snake. It can be so elusive that you think you're looking at it and it's not there, but it's actually gone into the pit. You have not held it. You have not held it and you have not removed it. It's not gone. So he reminds, Kulasekara Alvar is reminding who Manmatha. He's saying, Madana, leave this place and go, because I want to bring Mukunda's lotus feet here. I don't have place for you. Go away. Like Kabir says, जब हरि है मैं नाही, जब मैं हूं हरि नहीं, जब हरि है मैं नाही. When I am there, Hari is not there. When Hari is there, I am not there. So the I that I'm referring to is Manmatha here. When that is there is no place for Hari. When Hari goes away, when Hari comes in, it's one of the two. It's Lakshmi or Alakshmi. One of them can only remain. Both the sisters can't be in the same place. Lakshmim anapagamini, Sri Suktam. Lakshmim anapagami, don't go away. Lakshmi come, avahyami. Lakshmi, we call her first. How does it go? Suvarna Varnam Harinim Rajata Srajam.
Hiranya Varnam Harinim.
Hiranya Varnam Harinim Suvarna Rajata Srajam.
Chandram Hiranyayem
Lakshmi
Jata
Vedo Ma Avaha. Jata Vedo Ma Avaha. Come into me. Jata Vedo Ma Avaha. Tam Avaha Jata Vedo Lakshmim Anapagaminin. Don't go away. So you come, usually even in Ganapati invocation, Gananaam Tva Ganapati Gumhavamahe Kavin Kavinam Upamashravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspat Anashunvannuti Visidasad. You call Ganapati and say, sit here. That's all. But with Lakshmi, you say, come, please visit me. And then you also say, don't go away. Because very easily she'll go away. That is the reason, Lakshmi. Ma avaha, and then Anapagamini, don't go away. My Peripa would say, when I was very young, my Peripa and family, they will all come home. Whenever they come home, I'll be very excited. My cousins and Peripa, all of them come home. The first thing I'll go and ask them, my Peripa is, Peripa, ni eppo kalamba pora? When are you going to go? He'll still, till date, he remembers. I'm 50 now, still he'll say this. Whenever we come, first thing you'll ask is, when are you going? But the intention there is not about going. The intention is, how long are you going to stay? So don't go. So in that way, when we are telling Madana to go, we have to bring in Hari. Now, how does it happen? It's very interesting here. He's saying, Madana, go away, let Hari come in. Does it happen that way? It will never happen that way. Can you If you want to fill a pail with something, if you remove it, remove the contents, it will never remain. So it's a nature abhors vacuum. This is a statement, right? You've heard. This is studied physics. At some point, you would have heard that nature abhors vacuum, which means if there is vacuum, something will fill in. So if you wanted to fill something in, you have to start filling it in. Then what is there, the residue will go out. If you want to cleanse water of the dirt, you have to bring in fresh water. And then slowly this dirt will go out. The dirt from the water that is there will go out. You can't wait till the dirt goes out and then, oh Madana, you please go out and then I will call Hari, let him come and sit. It will not work that way. And Kulasekhara Alvar is scaring Madana off. He's reminding him, he's telling that you have been burnt once by Shiva. Remember. And then also remember the Parakrama of what? Sudarshana Chakra. Smarasina Chakra Parakrama Murarehe. Muraris, the Chakras Parakrama, don't forget, it can come and cut off. It can cut you off. It can make you non-existent. It can burn you off. So, Maryadaya Yadam Kuda. Basically, that is what he's saying. I know you can't go away because for so many lifetimes, when Buddha is able to recollect 500 lifetimes in the, what is that? Panchatantra or Hitopadesha? Jataka tales. Jataka tales. It is, they say Jataka tales are 500 lifetimes of Buddha. When somebody like that is able to remember 500 lifetimes, we can't remember even one. But the point is that there are so many lifetimes have been there and it's all deposited here. All of the unfulfilled desires, all of that has been deposited. So don't fight it. Don't fight it. Let it go when it goes. You don't try to remove it. To say that I've become desireless itself is a desire, right? Yes. To become desireless is a desire. But it is better to have that desire than other desires. Like Vivekananda says, the only desire that is worth having is the desire for God. He says this. Which means he recognizes it's a desire, but he's saying it's worth having that one as compared to the other desires. Like how Ramana Maharshi says, when you're burning a body, those who have been to Kashi, those who have come for the yatra, that's the only place today I think you can, of course, couple of previous generations, you'll still see bodies being burnt on a log of wood and all that. But nowadays, it's all electric chamber, right? If you want to see the authentic way a body burns, go to Kashi, go to Harishchandra Ghat or Manikarnika Ghat. The way they burn is there is one log of wood that they will keep. The whole body is burning on a pile of log of wood. Body is there, the log's there, body is burning. And there is one person who will come and keep poking, making sure that the body remains inside the log and doesn't keep falling out or things don't keep coming out. So he uses a log to do that. So this is a log. What is burning is also a log, but you're using one log to burn the rest of the logs. Ramana Maharshi uses this example. He says, this log that you're using to burn the other logs is the Bhagavat Smarana, is the name of the Lord, or is from Ramana's point of view, it is the I thought. Who am I? That vichara, that inquiry that you're having is this log that you're holding to burn other logs. At the end of it, what you do, you see this dome. There is this community called Dome. They're the ones who manage all of this, the cremation and all that. The dome person, after the body is burnt, almost burnt, and everything is done with, he will throw this log also into that. So that is what it means. When Buddha gave up the desire for liberation, that is the last log. But we'll get there when we get there, right? It's right now, it'll still remain fairly theoretical. But even for the intellect to understand how does it work, that's how it is. Because what happens is, like the other day we were speaking about this, in a snakes and ladder game, you get to 99. And after that, what does the person do? Once he reaches 99, what does that person do? He can keep throwing the dice. But till he gets number 1, he cannot do anything. Even if he gets 12, even if he gets 6, even if he gets any bigger number than 1, he still has to be there. It's only grace that will give you that last one. So don't worry. Getting to 99 itself is a big achievement, right? So we don't worry. So which is why you see, what is this? His name I forgot. I've told you about this person. He was an assistant to Ramana. There is an ashram of his besides Yogi Ram Surat Kumar. His ashram is also there. I forgot his name.
Annamalai Swamigala.
Annamalai Swami. Thank you, ma. Thank you. Annamalai Swami. Annamalai Swami, same thing. Bhagavan, he was with Bhagavan for 10 years. And Bhagavan said, enough. He's listening to Bhagavan. He is with Bhagavan. Ramana Maharshi. He is listening to his whatever he is saying. He's being in his presence. He's seeing him. He's observing. He's also doing dhyana. All of that he is doing. But Ramana, towards after 10 years, he recognizes Annamalai Swami is stuck. So he tells him, you go away. You go build your own kutir. You be on your own. Annamalai Swami is taken aback. My guru is driving me away. He felt bad. But Ramana, in his own inimitable style, he says, you're wasting your time here. Go away. And he goes, he sets up his kutir and sits there. And he does what Ramana has taught him. That's the only thing he knows. Observe, observe, observe. Who am I? Who am I? Vichara, vichara, inquiry. And in this book, he writes, in 3 years, he says, he gets that. He gets to the state that Ramana is talking about. Till that, he gets a glimpse of it, he falls off from it. Gets a glimpse, falls off. And then after that, he says the observer. So there is this constant observation that is happening without the observer being there. There is only observation. And it is not something that I'm making it happen. There's no effort there. Effortlessly, it is there. The Sakshi Bhava. Happens in 3 years. Why didn't it happen in Ramana's presence for 10 years? You never know. This is why Bhagavan also says in Krishna, in Bhagavad Gita, he says, Moksha ishyami ma shuchaha. I will give you sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarva papebhyaha moksha ishyami. I will give you moksha. Of course, this is used in very, the Vaishnavites take it to a very different extreme. But the point here is that ishyami means in Sanskrit means I shall give. Krishna is saying I shall give means that doesn't mean that only Krishna can give. It means that grace has to occur. That grace has to happen. But the effort has to be there. Like Swami Shivananda says, grace is directly proportional to effort. So that effort you have to have. Now you don't know how much effort you require for how much grace. As a kilo market lo poi kekar madiri kadayadu. Or 2.5 kilo grace porum pa enakku apdi. Just give me 2.5 kilos grace, because I have a family to take care. Don't give me more because then I leave away family, they'll suffer. So this much is enough. You can't demand like that. You'll never know how much is the right amount for what. You just have to surrender. Surrender to grace. There is a beautiful explanation of this word grace that I just came across a couple of days back in Sanskritam. Anugraha. I was telling Kavita also about it. Anugraha means Grihnati. Kalpaka, you know. Grihnati means what in Sanskritam?
grab பண்றது.
Grab, to hold, to grasp. Anugrihnati is to follow and hold. Anu is to follow. Anuvada means what? Translation. Translation means what? You follow the original text and write it in a different language. Anugraha is you follow and you grasp. This is the act of the sadhaka. Actually, anugraha, we say, I wait for anugraha. Thinking that there is no effort. Actually, in the word itself, there is effort built into the word. Anugraha, I have to follow, I have to hold. And then what flows is anugraha. So, the way to look at this is, he's saying, Mukunda or Manmatha, please make way for Mukunda, because I want to bring him into my heart and mind. Remember that this hara burnt you, so beware. And Murari killed you, or Murari's, beware of Murari Sudarshana Chakra, Chakra Parakramam Murare. So that is the 29th verse. 30th verse, he says, Tattvam Bruvanani Paramparastan Madhuksharantiva Satam Mudavahani Pravartaya Pranjilarasmi Jihve Namani Narayana Gocharani. So he tells the tongue, Tattvam Bruvanani, speak the supreme truth, O tongue. Jihve. This verse is, in the previous verse, it is a plea to Manmatha to go. In the next one, it is a plea to the tongue that please chant. I beg of you, please chant Narayana's name. Namani Narayana Gocharani. And he is pleading. With joined palms, Madhuk Sharantiva Satam Mudavahani. Please recite Pravartaya Pranjalim Asmi. கையை கூப்பிட்டு கேட்கிறேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாள். We say in Tamil, I please, I fold my palms and ask you. So like that, he's pleading with the tongue. In the previous one, he's pleading with the desires that is within us, saying, please give way so that let Mukunda come here. And I slowly know in time Mukunda will drive you off. I know that, but I'm not going to fight it. I'm not going to fight you. Let him do the fight. Which is why in all kinds of Bhagavatams, you see, Srimad Bhagavatam, Devi Bhagavatam, in the Purana, and the Purana, all the Devatas come together and they implore and call upon the larger power to come and fight the Asuras. They themselves don't go. It is always invoking the higher power, so that, because we don't know how to fight it, we don't know the root cause. We don't understand the root cause. So what are you fighting? It is it's absolutely, you're a formless thing. Ananga, a formless thing. How do you fight a formless thing? Using form. So he's praying to Madana to give space for Mukunda. And here he is now telling, in the previous verse, in that verse, he's saying, give space. Now, once space is created, he's pleading to the tongue to chant Narayana, which means by means of chanting, I bring Narayana, Krishna, Mukunda into my mind. Right? Not just the tongue, which means the tongue and the mind are correlated, is the assumption here. It's not just, you're not just chattering away. Chanting is not chattering. There are two different words, right? You can say, I am chatting Narayana's Nama. You're not chatting. You are chanting. Chanting means you're doing it with complete focus, attention, conscious will, and conscious, you're bringing your mind together. So what the mouth is saying, or the tongue is saying, you're bringing your mind together. Japam versus Jalpam. Correct. Japo Jalpah Shilpam Sakalam Api Mudra Virachana. Saundarya Lahari. There, Adi Shankara can say that na enna valarinalum, please mother, you take it as your japa. But we can't say that. He says that with complete awareness that he is not going to do jalpa. His attention and focus is going to be in japa. If we say that, that is laziness. Oh, mother, I don't have time to chant about you. You please take it. Morning, I tell that once, and evening, I tell and finished. And when I look at mother, mother, I keep praying to you. Why like this? Why like that? You've not done. I kept chanting so many years. On the Baba Delhi Ganesh cholra mari. 40 years I've been taking bath in the morning and doing worship for Kamalambika. She's not giving me power. She's giving power to this Baba, Rajnikant. So in that way, he is reminding the tongue. Now, even if Madana concedes to your plea and okay, I'll give you some space for Mukunda to come. How do you bring Mukunda in? It is through the jikhwa. So now he's making a plea to the tongue to say that you please chant and invoke him. Please call him. Please bring him. So that the space that Madana is now, after me pleading with him, is creating the space. I don't want that to be now misused. Right? Very interesting, poetic way of saying. So Tattvam Bruvanani Paramparastan. So may this, I stand before you with palms joined and I beg you to recite the names of the Lord, O tongue. These names are describing the supreme truth and they bring great pleasure. Madhu Sharanti va. It's dripping with honey, madhu. That is the bliss it brings. Thought and speech in alignment. Can we say this? Yes. Word and deed. Thought, word, deed. All of them, all the three being in alignment. It is difficult, but through practice, through sadhana, through focused attention, through knowing that this will give me something valuable, that is important. First, you need to establish that purushartha. You need to establish that goal to say that, yes, this is indeed going to be valuable to me. And then we work on it. Otherwise, at some point, it will fade away because we are measuring. We are measuring. Jiddu Krishnamurti very beautifully says, what is the meaning of the word meditate? He says, meditate means to measure. So when you're saying you are meditating, you are measuring, you're constantly evaluating. To be in meditation is different. When you are in meditation, you are not trying to meditate. There's no measurement. You're not trying to you're not trying to figure out, oh, now I did 108, I did 1008. Today I did 9 days of Navaratri. I did this thing. I didn't eat. I fasted. I did this, that, and the other. At the end of Vijayadashami, where is the result? You can't. It doesn't work that way. It is not like how people go to Sabarimala and on the return they open bottles of champagne. It's not like that. It is not a linear transactional engagement. It is not transactional one and it is not linear two. Because remember, all the good things that you're getting in your life, definitely it's not because what you've done in this life. Remember that. We always worry about all the not so good things, discomforting, the sufferings that we get. We keep wondering. But do we think that all the good things, have you really done something so great to get all of these beautiful things, this wonderful air conditioning, house and comfortable car to go, electricity, everything working, everything taken care of? What have we done? This is why my guru sings, Yanna Punyam Seideno Sadguru Natha. There's a song that he sings very beautifully. I don't know what punya I have done to get this grace now. So this is how it works. This is how we need to think. So because we don't know what all we have done to get the benefits today, same thing, we don't know what we have done good to get the sufferings also, or whatever discordant things we have done to get the sufferings today. We don't know. So don't worry about it. The point is no point in thinking about those things. You can continue it, ad infinitum. You can keep going on. It will never take us anywhere. Like Buddha says, when there is an arrow shot at you, what will you do the first thing? Will you go run behind the guy who shot the arrow, figure out, oh, why did you shoot the arrow? Where did you come from? What happened? All that. Or will you first remove the arrow and try to heal the place where there is wound? So he's saying focus on the wound that is there. Don't try to look for the root causes. And when the wound is healed, maybe the root cause won't matter at all. But that's for later, right? But right now, what we are saying is, in these two verses, Kulasekara Alvar is bringing our attention to say, make space, make space for Hari. Ask whatever desires that are there. So now, in a practical sense, we'll close it now. In a practical sense, how do we do this? Whenever there is a desire to do this, that, and the other, we fulfill all the desires that are rising within us, right? Whether it's temporary, whether it's permanent, whether it's long term, short term, all of those desires, we work to fulfill them. He says also generate a desire for worship, for prayer, for dhyana, for sankirtanam. Generate a desire for this. Only then that one desire can slowly replace the million other desires you have. When I said dhyana, sankirtana, prayer, worship, these are not four desires. There's only one desire, which is Bhagavan Nama. I want to be in the remembrance of the Lord, or think about Bhagavan, or go into myself, go in introspective. Whether we do Ramana's who am I inquiry, or we follow Krishna's Nama Sankirtanam, both are meaning the same thing. So we bring our attention to that. That desire we try to burn more and more and more. Then this desire slowly will vanish. Then Kama Deva will transform into Kameshwara. So there is then the Agamana or the invocation or the entrance of Kameshwara happens. That Kameshwara means what? You are now in a place where you have now, desires are there, but you're not governed by them. Ishvara is one who governs the others. So Kama Ishvara is the one who governs Kama. Kama may be there, it may have its own place, but you are not governed by it, you are governing it. And that is how does that happen? By reminding your tongue to continuously chant, think, and bring Bhagavan or that consciousness throughout the day. Bring that attention, bring that focus. So those are the two verses. I'll just chant those two verses and we'll close. Madana parihara sthitim madiye manasi mukunda padara vindadhamni hara nayana krishanuna krishosi smarasina chakra parakramam murare tattvam bruvanani paramparastan madhuksharantiva satam mudavahani प्रावर्तय प्राञ्जलिरस्मि जिह्वे नामानि नारायण गोचराणि कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि सदाशिवायेति समर्पयामि जगदम्बिकेति समर्पयामि सद्गुरुनाथायेति समर्पयामि हरि ओम तत्सत्गुरुभ्यो नमः गुरुदेव